Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something a little bit different, something I've been thinking a lot about lately, right? And that is what I would do differently if I had to start my cleaning business all over again in 2025 or 2026. So I've been in the cleaning industry for a few years and I've built up a solid business, right? I've made mistakes, I've learned lessons, and I've grown a lot, right? But if I could go back and start again, knowing what I know now, there's one big thing I would change straight away. And that is I would focus more on fixed recurring revenue contracts. So let me explain, right? Right now, about 80 to 90% of my business, it comes from Airbnb cleanings. And don't get me wrong, Airbnb cleanings work great. It's fast paced, the money's good, and if you have enough of them, it adds up, right? So in my case, I manage over 100, so it keeps me busy and profitable, right? But here's the thing, if you only have 10 or 15 Airbnbs, it's not enough to create a stable income. You'll make good money one week and then very little the next week. It's very unpredictable. And unpredictability makes it really hard to plan, to budget, and to grow. So if I were starting over today, in 2025, I'd focus from day one on getting recurring contracts that provide a stable base income every single month. What do I mean by recurring contracts? I'm talking about things like office cleaning, 5 days a week, maybe 4 hours a night, right? So that's about 20 hours a week. And when you calculate that over a month, it's roughly 87 hours of guaranteed consistent work. That's work you can rely on. That's money you can plan around. You know that every month you'll get paid for those hours, so there's no surprises, no gaps. It's fixed income. And with fixed income, everything becomes easier. Budgeting, hiring, even making big business decisions. When you have that base of guaranteed work, you can breathe a little, right? You can predict your cash flow, plan your expenses, and focus on growing smart instead of always chasing the next job. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Airbnb or one-off cleanings are bad. They're great for extra cash and for building your reputation. But the problem is, you never really know what next month is going to look like. Airbnbs can drop suddenly, or guests might cancel, or property owners might decide to handle cleaning themselves. So if you're relying only on that type of income, it goes out the window, right? And that can be very stressful, right? Recurring contracts, on the other hand, they give you stability. Even if you only have a few of them, they cover your base expenses every month, right? Excuse me. That means you can take on extra jobs, Airbnb turnovers or deep cleans on top, but those become bonuses, right? Not your main income. That's the big difference. Next, now I know some people might be thinking, yeah, but it's harder to get recurring contracts, and yeah, it can be a little bit more competitive at first. But once you land a few, it's worth it because those clients tend to stay long term. Think about it like this. When you clean for a one-off client, the value of that customer ends after one job. But when you clean for an office 5 days a week, that client could stay with you for years. That's predictable revenue. That's where you build a real business, right? And when you know the lifetime value of each customer, you can make smarter decisions. You can afford to invest in better equipment, marketing, staff, because you know what's coming in every single month. Another thing I'd do differently, and this ties into the same point, is I'd be more selective about the jobs I take. So when I was first starting out, I took every job that came my way. And in the beginning, that's normal, guys, right? You just want to work and build a reputation. But later I realized that not every job is worth your time. Some clients only want one-off cleans, or they're just too far away, or they're constantly changing their schedules. That kind of work can be a drain, not just on your time, but on your energy and your team's focus. So in 2025, 2026, if I was to starting again, I'd be polite but firm. If someone calls me for a one-off clean and I don't have the capacity, I'd simply say, thanks for thinking about us, but we're fully booked at the moment, or I'm focusing on long-term contracts right now, but I can recommend someone else. Be professional about it, but don't be afraid to say no, because every time you say yes to the wrong job, you're saying no to the potential better ones, right? So how do you actually get those fixed contracts? Start by targeting offices, small businesses, medical clinics, schools, retail stores, right? These places always need cleaning, usually every day or several times a week. Approach them professionally, introduce yourself, offer a free trial clean, show that you're reliable and consistent. And remember, business owners love predictability just as much as you do. What was that noise? They don't want to keep changing the cleaners. I mean, if you can show them what you'll do, so do the job right, keep communication open, they will stick with you. So once you land a few of those contracts, everything starts to shift. You'll notice your stress levels go down. You'll stop worrying about where next week's money is coming from, and you'll have a clear base that you can grow from. And that's the point where you can decide to add more Airbnbs, one-off cleans, or even specialized services like, I don't know, carpet cleaning or window cleaning. But the foundation, the fixed recurring work, that's what keeps your business stable no matter what happens, right? So yeah, if I'd start all over again, that's the number one thing I would do differently. I'd still take pride in the work. I'd still build relationships, but I'd build around recurring revenue first, not one-off jobs, right? Because once you have that foundation, everything else just becomes easier. Growing, hiring, expansion, it all starts from stability. And the funny thing is, when you start focusing on fixed contracts, you usually end up doing less work for more money, because instead of continuously chasing new clients, you're nurturing the ones who are already paying you regularly. You can build like trust, you can get referrals, and your business becomes predictable, something you can count on month and month, right? So if you're thinking about starting a cleaning business in 2025, 2026, or you've already started, remember this: don't chase every single job. You have to build smart, focus on recurring contracts. They may take a little bit longer to find, but they'll give you something which is way more valuable than fast cash. They'll give you consistency, freedom, and peace of mind. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye for now.